Okay. Glen Paterson, please. Hi, Glen.
Good morning. Good morning, all.
So you have 5 minutes.
That won't take 5 minutes. I could almost borrow Tim's presentation and do that. My questions are around what's the mandate? I saw it the same as, and the whole discussion in my household with my wife and my adult children was, where the hell has this come from? On some inquiries, there was a comment came back to me that it was, I live in Gore Ave in Brynwa, closer location to schools. The nearest schools are Wairaki Road, Fenelton and Cobham, which I would drive past every single day, and they're quite a long way away. And as other people have said, around sort of that school time, traffic's almost at a standstill anyway. If you used our street as an example, you literally have to come to a stop at the end of the street to go onto another road. So what is the point of slowing there and then going up? People are going to accelerate anyway. I'll also just follow up on Tim's comment about it causing unseen circumstances and frustrations. I travel to Akaroa regularly, and I've noticed the increase of poor driving on that road since the speed decrease. People are just getting completely frustrated. I went over there earlier this week, where the road speed limit's now 80, people are driving 60 and 70, where at 60 people are driving 50, which is infuriating people, and you can see them overtaking where they shouldn't do. So my concern is that you're looking to legislate for the lowest common denominator, and I understand the comment about people hearing impaired, sight impaired, movement impaired, pets and so on, but where does it stop and start? And that's where my point is. I don't think there's a mandate for it. Thank you.
Oh, excellent. Thank you very much. So we've got time for some questions. Mel?
I was just wondering what disadvantage you could actually see to lower speeds.
People getting frustrated. Well, it's quite a big one. That will cause aggravation.
Andre, then Sarah?
Thank you. Maybe a tricky question to answer. One of my biggest observations in things like speed limits and many thousands of doors knocked is most people I speak with don't like lower speed limits and their commutes, but almost everyone I've met wants a lower speed limit in their own streets. Where do you see the compromise in that?
Well, I don't see that we need a lower speed limit in our street. But it's a bit of a shortcut between other streets, but it's been 50 k's for a long, long time. So we've probably lived there for 16 or 17 years. It's always been that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sarah?
Thanks. It's a bit of an odd one. How do you weigh up a few minutes of delay and some potential frustration in drivers against the potential consequences to someone who gets hit by a car? I mean, do you think that drivers should be driving to the road code and there's a responsibility with holding a license and those kind of things that outweighs a few moments frustration, if you like?
I see what you're saying, but the laws are there now. They just need to be enforced now. Where does it stop and start? Eventually, we've got issues with cycleways, so you're going to end up with, if you look around Higley Park and the museum, it's causing a traffic issue already. You've got cycle lanes on cycle lanes, so it's just going to frustrate people. So it's not the dropping from 50 to 30 is so much. It's where do you stop and start? Are you going to end up like Wellington, where you're going to be eventually getting rid of all the vehicles in the city because people get run over by buses? Or
without going to extremes though. If you look at just the local streets, not central city, and the fact that when we do travel surveys, for example, at schools, most kids want to bike or walk to school. but most parents don't think it's safe for them to do so. So you might not have many kids in your street
Yep.
biking, walking to school at the moment, but they want to. Parents want to let them, but they don't because they don't feel like the kids would be safe because there's too many cars on the road, and so
Sarah.
they drive them. How do you get
Sarah.
around that?
So will changing it to 30 change that for parents?
It's what the data shows, yeah.
Okay, and Tyrone, really quickly, as time's
Very
up.
quickly.
Very
Hey,
quick.
thanks for your presentation, Glenn. Do you have any just general comments on driver culture in Christchurch?
It's pretty average, but yeah, it could be better. But
Great. Is that a good answer? Right. Thank you very much. It was a really good submission.